Every startup begins with a spark, a blazing fire of ideas, passion, and endless possibilities. But somewhere along the way, that fire dies down. Not because people stopped working hard, not because the market vanished, but because something invisible, something quietly destructive, sneaks in and suffocates that blaze. It's not the lack of funding. It's not competition. It's not bad timing. The silent killer lives deep in the heart of startups. It's the brutal, ruthless truth that nobody dares to talk about: misalignment. You might think communities, teams, strategies, and tech stacks are your main hurdles. Yet the real enemy is far more subtle. It's found in the cracks between the vision and the people who must bring it to life, in the whispering gaps between founders, investors, and the team. When your core moves in different directions, the startup starts splitting from the inside, no matter how much you hustle. This is the poison that drips slowly, invisible, until it floods the entire ship and drowns it. Imagine a startup where everyone is talented, motivated, and hardworking. Yet from day one, somehow the messages cross wires. The founder dreams of creating something radical, life-changing, unstoppable, but the team hears play safe or follow the market. Investors expect growth, scale, and hits, but fear risks, innovation, and big gambles. Customers want magic, but get half measures. Slowly, the culture grows conflicted. The energy fragments, trust fades, while everyone thinks it's just business as usual. What the hell is that? It's what kills growth before growth even gets a chance. This silent killer, misalignment, isn't just about being out of sync. It's about missing the core truth, that the most powerful engine of growth isn't just your product or your money or your marketing. It's the relentless, unified will of the people behind it, all firing in the same direction with the same fierce hunger and shared sense of purpose. When your people are fragmented, every ounce of potential leaks away through cracks you can't patch with meetings or incentives. Now, realize this. Alignment isn't about forcing everyone into one mindset or one doctrine. It's about radical clarity and brutal honesty about what truly matters: your mission, your values, your non-negotiables, and finding those few who resonate so deeply with that core that they don't just show up, they show up burning. Alignment is about finding your edge warriors, the few willing to reject comfort, question every assumption, unlearn what's safe, and keep pushing even when the world yells, "Stop." It's where the rare connect and collaborate to explode growth like a wildfire. So how do you fight this unseen killer? How do you transcend it so utterly that you become unstoppable? First, you start by exposing the lie that freedom means doing everything or accommodating everyone. It doesn't. Real freedom in a startup is about ruthless focus. It's about saying no. It's about building a fortress around your vision and values, allowing only those who bleed for them to enter. Too many startups fall into the trap of chasing investment, growth hacks, and market trends like they're holy grails. But if you chase everything, you chase nothing. Growth is a wild beast that only the aligned, the focused, and the patient can tame. You must become obsessed with creating what's next, beyond what's comfortable, beyond what's expected. And that obsession requires the courage to shed everything that doesn't serve your real mission. This means challenging yourself and everyone around you. Why are we here? What are we really building? Does each team member wake up hungry to create this future or just collect a paycheck? If the answers don't shake you to the core, your startup is already on a slow death march. Next, build your inner circle not by who's easy to work with, but by who challenges you to rise. Not those who want a seat at the table, but those who want to upend the table entirely. Find partners, investors, advisors, teammates who don't tolerate half measures or excuses. People who reject the status quo because they know that settling for ordinary is the slow poison of growth. Connect with those who demand transformation, not comfort. Misalignment often stems from unresolved tension between ambition and safety. Fix that by recruiting and retaining only those who share your radical hunger for breaking molds. Then comes the hardest part, creating a culture that breeds this alignment every day. Not culture as a trendy buzzword, but a living, ruthless insistence on shared reality. You must commit to openness, brutal feedback, and transparency that scares the weak and energizes the brave. Every project, every decision, every failure must be tested against the question, does this serve our mission and our aligned vision? If the answer hesitates or wiggles, it's your enemy. Zero tolerance for the comfortable status quo is key, because comfort is the deadly silent killer's favorite breeding ground. Comfort lulls team members into passivity, makes innovation timid, and growth incremental at best. Growth demands risk, discomfort, and occasionally, failure. Growth demands leaving behind what worked yesterday to find what ignites tomorrow. When a startup's culture demands resting on laurels, the real spark dies. Radical alignment demands continual unlearning, not just in ideas, but in behavior. Now, here's an almost invisible truth that separates the great from the doomed. The startup that outgrows itself fastest is the one that designs its own internal ecosystem, its own unique infrastructure for excellence. That means you don't just hire or partner. You carefully weave an autonomous network of fiercely loyal, critically thinking individuals who amplify each other's strengths instead of diluting them. This network isn't built on surface connections or forced meetings. It's a living organism of mutual respect, shared obsession, and unapologetic growth. You do this by not chasing volume, but essence. Not building for everyone, but building for those few who will change everything. Because the few with uncompromising vision and aligned power ignite growth faster than armies of misaligned mediocrity. This network is your startup's secret weapon. It can pivot faster, innovate deeper, and weather any storm because it moves like a single organism fused by shared purpose, not like a crowd pulled in every direction. Remember, every minute lost in misalignment is growth deferred and opportunity wasted. Every team member working at cross purposes is a leak in your startup's lifeblood. Growth doesn't just happen from outside, it detonates inside, from committed individuals who refuse to settle, who don't just want a product that works, but a legacy that shakes foundations. So stop pretending that growth is just about traction, fundraising, or product market fit. The real growth battle is fought quietly inside every meeting, every conversation, every decision made in your startup's small corners. Look for the tension, the misalignments, the quiet compromises. Tear them out like cancer before they spread. Focus your energy on building an unbreakable core, a network of rare individuals aligned not by location, title, or ego, but by fire. This alignment creates a startup ecosystem capable of transcending limitations, breaking through ceilings, and creating realities no one else can touch. Growth, then, isn't a goal. It's the natural consequence of alignment, focus, and relentless pursuit of what can't be borrowed, bought, or copied. True shared conviction and embodied transformation. If the world around you seems designed to trap souls behind illusions of comfort and fragmented conformity, remember this. The exception doesn't wait for the system to change. The exception changes the system from the edge. The edge is where growth lives, where you refuse to bend, refuse to wait, refuse to believe in the lie of false freedom. Throw away every tired rulebook. Dismiss every comfort that dulls your vision. Refuse the mediocre consensus and unite fiercely with those who will burn with you through every doubt, every failure, every triumph. Your startup's growth depends on unleashing that fierce alignment, the deep chemistry of rare people who share a mission so big and so true that nothing can stop them. No startup grows quietly from confusion and compromise. Real growth screams in alignment, in hunger, in an unstoppable collective will that refuses to be broken. This is the silent war being fought in every boardroom, every chat, every moment you choose compromise over clarity. The question is, will your startup die quietly in the shadow of misalignment? Or will it explode from the fire of radical unity? The answer is yours, and it's the only hope you have to go beyond survival, to grow so powerfully that the impossible becomes inevitable.